Hello everyone! Welcome to watch this week's virtual art class video from Rainey Institute. Miss Morai here. Recently, have you noticed there are a lot of beautiful flowers blooming out there? Please select 3 or 4 different kinds of flower you have seen and observe them, because this week we're going to paint some spring flowers. And we're going to use watercolor paint to paint on canvas. Material-wise, you will need pencil, eraser, a cup of water, paper towel, paintbrush, a canvas, watercolor set, and watercolor pencils. Have you made your ideas about what kind of flowers you would like to paint? If you have your idea, and you have gathered all the materials I have mentioned, you are ready to start. First of all, use pencil to sketch your flower images on the canvas. In this example, I'm sketching 4 different kinds of flowers which I saw on my hiking trail last Sunday. Before we start coloring, let's take a quick look at the following video to review some application techniques for watercolor pencils. Have you noticed there's a word printed as watercolor on your color pencil? When you see that mark on any color pencil, that means the color painted through this pencil is water soluble, allowing it to be activated with water, which makes it behave more like watercolor. Let's take a quick look at a few application techniques for watercolor pencils. We'll firstly apply a little bit blue here, changing the intensity of the color by adjusting the pressure we place in the pencil on the paper. And we can go back with a bit of water, apply with a brush, and activate this application. When it's activated, you can see it becomes more like watercolor paint. Now, when we are using watercolor pencils, we should do the same things that we do with watercolor painting. For example, we should mix colors to make more interesting colors to create colors that appear more natural. In this case, I have layered a bit of blue and yellow, and you can see where they overlap each other. The resulting color is green when the color is activated with water. Of course, you don't have to just activate watercolor pencils once they are on the surface. You can also apply a bit of water to the surface first, and then make marks with watercolor pencils. You can see here, when we do this, the color is quite a bit more intense than if the watercolor pencil were applied without any water in place. We can again layer the colors and mix them, but you can see the texture is quite different and the colors are quite a bit more intense. You may use all the different application techniques when you color your picture with watercolor pencils. In the next video, I will show you how I apply all the different coloring application on my flower painting with watercolor pencil. You may see in the video, I firstly color the petal with yellow and purple, and I change the intensity of the color by adjusting the pressure I place in the watercolor pencil on canvas. Then I brush a bit of water on the previous colored area. After the water activated with watercolor pencil, it looks more like watercolor painting. Now, I apply the water on the canvas first. Then I make petal marks with blue and purple watercolor pencil. You may see here, the texture shown in this part of the petal is more intense than the top 2 petals. Here, I'm trying to mix yellow and orange to paint the center of these daisies. I think this would make the color more interesting. While coloring the leaf parts, I tried to mix yellow and green together to make the leaf colors look more natural. Again, for making the petals look more colorful and more three-dimensional, I not only mix different colors together, but also change the intensity of color by adjusting the pressure I place in the watercolor pencils. After using watercolor pencils to color the majority flowers and leaves, it's time to brush some water on. As you may see, when the color is activated with water, all these different colors are blended together, and the texture appeared on these petals and leaves looks more like watercolor and more natural. At this point, I pretty much finished coloring the main image, which is all the flowers and leaves. Now it's time to work on the background. I like to use the watercolor set to slightly paint the light colors on the background. The light blue on the left side of the picture helps to show the white petals of these daisies. The trick to make a really light color is to mix the watercolor paint with more water. The more water you mix with the paint, the lighter the resulting color will become. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have fun while painting on canvas with watercolor. I look forward to receiving the pictures of your artwork. And I will see you next week. Bye bye.